The button wouldn't let me click it. We are here now. We are live. Hello, everyone. Of course, Lisa is a scrambling mess here as she waits till the last second to get everything ready before the live stream. How's everybody doing? It has been a minute. Adam Schoenwald coming in right off the bat with gifting 10 memberships. Good grief. As if you have not gifted enough people memberships. That is very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Somebody's already talking about songs in here. Oh, the final countdown. Yep. That's one that'll be stuck in your head for a while. So clear sound. Look at that. It's like we never left. We are back.
Trying to get my tablet to work.
We will have an announcement. Your tablet is like covering up half the screen here.
Yeah. What do you want me to do?
So you all are going to be looking at the back of Lisa's iPad for a while tonight. If you push it forward like to here.
Yeah, I can't. Wow.
That's a little better.
I can't even see it. It's so far away.
Oh, maybe you should put your sexy glasses on and then everybody be able to see it.
Nah.
So how is everybody doing? Yeah, it's been a little bit since we've been here. And we had a million reasons for that. And we are going to talk about that. There is going to be a more permanent change to the live stream. We're going to try something out. And he did it again. Adam Schoenwald is just like, here's all the memberships. Like all of them that YouTube has, we're just going to give to KG Tropicals. Thank you so much, Adam. Good grief. You're a huge supporter of the channel. Everybody that's here right now is. Thank you all so much for that.
Thank you.
As you continue to get yourself ready, I'm going to talk about the doom and gloom part here in the beginning. If we kind of get that over with right off the top, because there's something that's happened in the last few weeks that the members and I and we and the members, Lisa and I and the channel members, we just got done talking about this. But there's a lot of you that are watching this right now that are not aware of what happened a few weeks ago. It was actually it was 2 weeks ago, right? 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago today that this happened. When we were supposed to be streaming, it was our first missed stream.
No, it was not. It was our stream, our last stream.
We were stream. Yeah, you're right. There's this part of my beard that's sticking out right now, and it's driving me nuts.
You are so random.
I should not be laughing about right now because we do have something. It is very serious to talk about. Want to get it over with right off the top. A lot of you probably already know this. And if you do, work with me here for a second while we discuss this for a few minutes, because I have not had the opportunity to speak on it publicly. Neither one of us have since it happened. If you've been following along, particularly on this live stream for the last year, you know that last year on Halloween in Dallas, Texas at Aquashella, I was approached by a saltwater guy. And this is not a normal thing. This is something that I had never happened before. I use plenty of beard oil, Adam Schoenwald. I just don't have any in right now. I had never been approached by somebody that is on the saltwater side of this hobby. It's always been the saltwater folks over there and the freshwater people over here. And the ones that I did meet and speak to and have conversations with were super nice people. I didn't have anybody that I considered to be an enemy or anything like that, but I never had a saltwater guy approach me. And the cool thing about this particular saltwater guy that approaching me that meant a lot to me was that I was already a fan of this guy. It was Jake Adams from Reef Builders. He's a huge YouTube channel. a guy that is an absolute pillar in the saltwater community. And what made it even better was that he was dressed up like Bob Ross, and carrying around a little palette. What do they call it? Palette. And instead of having all of the paint colors on the palette, it was little corals, and it was the cutest thing you've ever seen. And he approached me, which was just odd. I was like, oh, first of all, I'm a little starstruck because you're a big time YouTuber, and it's weird because I've never had anybody on the saltwater side do that. We instantaneously became friends, Jake and I. The conversation that day revolved around how there is that gap between the saltwater side and the freshwater side. It seems like two different hobbies. And him and I that day, we were discussing how much of a shame that is. We're all crazy people that like to fill up glass boxes full of water and hope the silicone holds. And we admire these aquariums. We put a ton of money into them and a ton of blood, sweat, and tears into these things that we admire so much. We all do the same thing. Why can't we all do this together? Why does it have to be one side or the other? And that day, him and I discussed, what are we going to do? You know, it's up to us. We're going to fix this. And we, over the course of the next, I don't know, however long, we discussed it on the phone. We talked regularly. We texted all the time. And our first way of trying to resolve this issue was to do a video collaboration, where I did a video that was the top 10 reasons why freshwater aquariums are better than saltwaters. Jake did the follow-up to that, which was the reverse, why saltwater aquariums are better than freshwater. It was a collaboration that worked very well, got significant views for both channels, and created awareness for both channels, which is what the goal of the whole thing was. It wasn't to have an argument and, you know, be at each other's throats. It was more to start to build that bridge between the two sides of the hobby. And after that, we said, hey, you know what? We got to take this to the next level. Let's do this live in front of an audience at Aquashella. And pitched it to Aquashella. They were like, yes, that sounds great. Let's do it. They put us on the bill in Chicago. We were the keynote event for that weekend. Jake and I both felt a lot of pressure. We were both intimidated, but also thrilled to be center stage keynote event at Aquashella, the biggest aquarium event in the world. Maybe not the world, but in the United States. It was a huge thrill, and there was a lot of pressure in that. And so the build up to that had me and Jake talking once a week for hours on the phone. Jake is a guy that you think I don't shut up. It would just go and go and go and go. So the conversations would be very long. We did the event. It was exactly what we wanted it to be. I'm hoping that there will be, that the video will be released of that debate. I'm actually in talks with the Aquashella people to get my hands on it, and maybe I can upload it. And if you don't know what happened, you probably don't understand why that would be so important to me, but it's very important to me to get that and release it onto my channel. I'd like to do the debate between him and I. We had a lot of fun with it. It was a blast. What a wonderful weekend the whole weekend was.
It was.
Because what it did was we were completely successful with what we were trying to do. I was invited onto the saltwater side. I was asked to go on a podcast, the Reef Beef podcast, which was a blast. Had so much fun. Instantly made two new friends in Richard Ross and Ben Johnson. We shared an Uber with Ben Johnson. He's a friend now.
He's so funny.
It was perfect. I mean, this was exactly what we expected. We met with Jake after dinner Saturday night. We made plans, and the plans were he was going to come here and we were going to do 2 saltwater tanks. One for me. I want a fox face, rabbit fish. I've wanted one of those fish for the longest time. I think they're the most adorable thing. Saltwater people might look at that fish and be like, well, that's just kind of like that's not a very advanced fish. That's like a beginner's fish. Yeah, I have a tank full of yellow labs. I mean, and Oscars. I like beginner fish. That's okay with me. For me, it's about the personality, the appearance, all of that. And so he was saying, we're gonna get you your tank for your fox face, and then we're gonna set you up with a small reef with small fish.
I said I want what's equivalent to a nano tank with just some plants, shrimp, and snails.
Yep.
And he said, I know exactly what you want.
We had it all set up, perfect. Not all set up, but we knew what we were going to do. And then either we or I was going to go to Colorado to his place. And we couldn't figure out quite what we were going to do because it was, we couldn't really do the reverse of what we do here in North Carolina because a lot of people didn't know this, but Jake was actually very, very much involved in the freshwater side of the hobby too. His notoriety and his work was saltwater, but he had more freshwater tanks than he did salt. So we didn't know what we were going to do, but we were going to go out there and do that. But those plans are no more. And I don't know how. I've practiced every single part except for this part. I don't know how to say this other than to say Jake passed away out of nowhere on the 20th of October. I don't know for certain. I'm pretty sure he was 41, which means way younger than me and in very good shape. I mean, he was a guy walking around like people see him and they're like, that's a guy that's got everything together. And then you see me standing next to him and it's like, something's wrong with that guy. But this guy has got his shit together, if you know what I mean. And out of nowhere, he dropped. And we lost a great one. I know not only lost a friend and a collaborator and a colleague, if you want to call him that, but the aquarium hobby lost an incredible figurehead. Somebody that was a pillar in the community of the saltwater community, but not just the saltwater community, the aquarium community, period.
Because he was just a overly just wonderful person as far as like to everybody in the community, because he was freshwater too. Mm-hmm. He had freshwater tanks, just, I mean, he just, I think, liked saltwater more, like he was more involved with saltwater stuff and going, on like dives and getting all the footage and going places to do research and stuff. So that was his thing.
And that's where he was going when he passed. He passed away on an airplane, just out of nowhere. Like literally 1 second he's fine, next minute he's no longer with us, on the airplane. On his way to Bali for a diving trip with a friend that he hadn't seen in a long time. Not somebody that I knew. And even more devastating than that is we all found out after. I think the only one that knew was his wife. She was pregnant with their first child. They were not married long. I don't know exactly how long it was,
Last
but
year.
Yeah, a year married and
so.
just pregnant, and boom, the world is turned upside down. So I can tell you my role with trying to bridge that gap between freshwater and saltwater, my commitment to it is even stronger now. It was strong before, and I had I had somebody that was a pro that knew way more about aquariums than I did, kind of with me on it, representing the other side. We were going to build this bridge and life was going to be beautiful. You go to an event and it's not saltwater people over here and freshwater people over there. We were all going to be in one place, and it was going to be glorious, and it was going to be fun, and it still can be. And I think it can be in his honor. It can be that way. We have to do it now. So I'm not going to be able to get on stage with him at Aquashella anymore. But that doesn't mean that the mission has to end. I don't know who my dancing partner is going to be after this. I got a couple of names in mind. Some I've already mentioned in this so far, but I'm going to find somebody that's going to fill that. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, but fill those shoes of Jake's. Let me tell you this. I'm not one of these people. I promise you, I'm not one of these people that doesn't speak highly of a person, but then once they pass, all of a sudden they were a saint and I talk all good about them. I'm not that guy. And in fact, I hate when people do that. You can go back on this stream for the last year. And I think I probably mentioned Jake in every stream we've done in the last year. I've spoke of him this way every single day. So I'm not saying this because he passed. I've never met a bigger fish nerd. I've hung out with some heavy hitters like the Dean Tweedales and the Rusty Wessels and the Corey McElroys. And I've hung around a lot of total fish nerds, like people that are nerd to the 10th power for aquariums. And I don't think any of those people could shake a stick at him. And I'm not saying that because he passed or because he's my friend and I'm biased. These are all my friends. That guy was a fish nerd to this core. And where I would be talking to him and I'm like, Jake, let's talk about something that doesn't have to do with fish. I talk about fish all day long, every day. And he wouldn't stop. I mean, it was his life. It was his passion. And that's not being said just because of what happened. It's the absolute truth. Anybody that knew him would tell you that. So yeah, that's what happened. And what I have told you is all we know, because he was flying. Everyone who starts a saltwater tank should name their first fresh saltwater fish Jake. Hey, listen, of course, if I get a fox face, that fish's name has to be Jake. Now, that fish was going to be named Jake no matter what, because he was going to be the one that was going to be facilitating me getting that fish. But now it's even more important that fish be named Jake. He was flying to another country, Bali, which I don't even know where that is. But so there were complications as far as getting information, what happened and, autopsies and all of those kind of things. I don't even know if those have been done yet. I mean, Jake was my friend, but we were not that close to where I'm like in the loop with the family. It's nothing like that. So I don't know for sure. I don't think anybody knows. I don't even know if his wife Windsor knows what happened yet. Or if she does, she hasn't posted anything about it or anything. So we don't know what it was. A lot of people have speculated what it could be, but I'm not going to be careless like that and just say, oh, it must have been this, or start conspiracy theories. I'm not going to do that, specifically not in front of 84,000 people on YouTube. So we don't know what it was, but it doesn't matter what it was. He was 41 years old, and that's terrifying. Me sitting here with a beard full of gray hair and 40 pounds heavier than I should be and 7 years older than him makes somebody like me very, very scared. Huge wake-up call. So I'm going to continue the mission. I don't know how, and I don't know who my dancing partner is going to be. Maybe this is the kind of thing that's going to bring a whole bunch of them to the table. I don't know. But I want to keep that going, and I got to get that fox face and name him Jake. Yep. That fish is already out there and his name is already Jake. He just doesn't know it yet. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. That's all really. I don't know if you have anything to add to that. That's all I know and all I really have to say. Yeah. I could do the whole hour and a half on it though. 'Cause that was hard to hear. out of nowhere like that. When you hear something like that, and it's so, the details are so few and far between. I don't know if you've ever had this reaction, but this isn't the first time we've lost somebody shockingly like that. And when you don't know anything, when it's like, all we know is the person is gone, that's it. We were in the car driving to Raleigh when we found out about this. And we were talking about it. And I was like, I hope, as weird as it sounds, I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I hope it was like a car accident or something like cut and dry, black and white. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But out of nowhere, and we don't know why, and it was, some type of natural causes, that makes it so much worse. Either way, the results are what they are. But it's when you're older than him and not as well put together as him, that scares. That's scary to hear that kind of thing. So anyway, there is a GoFundMe. I'm not somebody that attaches themselves to GoFundMes very much, but I definitely have for this one. I posted about it. A lot of people have shared it. If you want a little bit more details about it, I wish I had the daggone GoFundMe.
It's on the community page. It's on our community page as a post. If you go back,
we already know Zen is like copying the link right now as we speak.
In here
oh, maybe she's not.
But yeah, there's a GoFundMe. The community post has all that info on there that you did.
Yeah, I put one up, and I put the picture from the GoFundMe on there, and I explained kind of what I explained here tonight. The origin story of Jake and I's friendship. Go check that out. This is a newlywed wife that just found out, well, didn't just find out, but is pregnant, very recently pregnant, and now going at it alone. So we need to, this is a guy that was coming together for the community. We need to come together for him and for his wife, who's also in the industry. So,
right.
That's very critical that we do that. If anybody has the ability to share the link to that GoFundMe, please do. I think only mods are able to do that. That would be a huge help. If not, at some point while she is talking, I will get that link and I'll put it up. So there we go. So that we don't get too far backed up here. Cherish Cochran became a member. Welcome to the team. And then all of Adam Schoenwald's 20 gifts, memberships that he did. Thank you to all of those new members. Yes, very exciting.
Thank you very much.
Matt Laparo, what is the best moss for a shrimp tank? I know somebody who can answer that quickly because...
Oh, well, I wouldn't say the best, but I use lots of different mosses because there's so many different kinds. But one of the ones that comes to mind that I like a lot is the Christmas moss. Yeah, I love it.
Wait a minute. Any news on Papa Shrimp? What's happening with Papa Shrimp? What's happening here? Have you heard anything?
I haven't really been in the loop lately.
I haven't either. We've been completely overwhelmed. Come on, don't tell me something's happening with Jerry. Don't tell me that now. Not on a night like this. Joe Provenzano, just glad I don't have to watch bad TV on Thursday again.
Aw.
Well, we're going to talk about that.
Sorry about that, Joe.
In a minute. Then Matt came in again. Semper Fi, love the hoodie.
Yes. The reason why I'm wearing it is because today is the Marine Corps' birthday. It's their 247th birthday, and that's my Marine. So, yeah. So anyways, happy birthday to all the Marines, and tomorrow is Veterans Day, so happy early Veterans Day to everybody that has served. Thank you for your service. Absolutely. We have one currently and one who is a veteran. A Marine vet and a one in the Navy. And I just heard some really good news about the one in the Navy. He will be on the East Coast, stationed on the East Coast. And I'm really excited about that. Not going to say where, but yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Jerry's okay. Had a procedure for a follow-up a year ago, surgery. Okay.
Oh.
Man, don't scare me like that.
Glad he's okay.
And he
Good
was on
guy.
Jess's stream earlier this evening. Okay, good.
Oh, good.
Got my heart pumping there. I just posted the GoFundMe there. I don't have any fancy text on it. I just put the link to it for Jake's and Windsor's GoFundMe. So if you could be so kind as to check that out, that would be amazing. Snowflake Cat Channel.
Cute.
Or that's only one N. So is it Chanel? Snowflake Chanel? I don't know the fancy words.
Yeah.
Just a couple of hearts with a kitty cat in the avatar. Got to talk about a kitty cat moment that I just had. Got to do it.
Today?
Today, just now. 15 minutes ago. No, half an hour ago.
Yeah.
We do our member stream from 6:30 to 7:30, and then we have a little half-hour break, and then we come back and we meet with all of you. And we have had, how long have we had Reno and Mama Cat? 3 years? 4 years?
2019.
So 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you rescued Mama Cat. You call it a rescue? I guess you could. I mean,
She was a stray cat injured, and she had 5 kittens with no home.
Right. So yeah, rescued. And took her and got her surgery to get one of her eyes removed, and she had a bunch of problems, and now she's as healthy as can be.
She's still FIV positive, but that's okay. We love her.
Found homes for 4 of the kittens and kept Reno, the terror, in our house.
Yeah.
Mama Cat has never let me touch her once. Never. Like,
And she meows like this. She goes,
yeah. She has a very cute meow, and she only has one eye, so that makes her even cuter. And I have so badly wanted to be friends with this cat for 3 years now. And she would, I walk in the room, she would run away. That's just how it was. For some reason, I went into that room today. Not room. They've got half of this house that they can run around. But the room that she was in, I went into, and all 3 cats were in there. The other 2 are lovey-dovey like they always are. And out of nowhere, she comes up to me, and I start petting her. And I had a very special moment with her. I didn't want to stop. I'm like, finally, after 3 years, I get to pet this cat. She was rubbing on me and just like, almost like she forgot about the last 3 years. So.
And it was so funny because I've always been scared to like bathe her, because she's skittish and she gets scared so easily. And last week I noticed they were, just having some issues, and I was like, I don't know what's going on with them, but let me go ahead and give them baths and stuff. And so I bathed them and massaged them and, got the oatmeal stuff in them and just spoiled them, with a nice little bath. Well, I consider it spoiling them. They thought it was
torture.
Hell. Reno especially, but Mama Cat loved it, and she was purring, and she just loved her bath. It was so adorable. So,
well, I was thrilled just to finally be able to touch that cat.
I think she's happy because she got a bath.
Maybe that's what it is. She was so miserable before. Burnell Williams Jr. with the $1.99 microphone little super sticker there. Thank you so much for that, my friend. Maybe that was a mic drop kind of thing.
I just saw somebody that popped in. I wanted to mention something. Skipper's Aquarium says hello, everyone, at KG Tropicals. And I wanted to mention Skipper has Saturday night at 7 p.m. He is doing an auction on his channel. And people are, they're doing an auction selling fish and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. If you're not busy on Saturday night at 7, go check that out. And then at 8 o'clock is another auction for Jake's wife. And that's on a app called Whatnot, I guess. I just got it. I never heard of it before. So lots of fun stuff to do Saturday night. Don't spend all your money tomorrow when you get paid, save it for Saturday night and sit down and watch all this and get you some stuff from these auctions.
I'll be painting Saturday night after getting home.
Yeah, Saturday we're supposed to be going to my daughter's field hockey game. Let me tell you something. I am so proud of this team. When my daughter started college at this particular school, it was the second year for the field hockey team. The year before was their first year. The coach had thrown girls together just to make a team to get it started, and they never won a game. And then the first year my daughter was there, they didn't win a game. And so the second year, which was last year, they had more people. He was recruiting more people, bringing them in internationally, because this is for the NCAA. Did I say it right? The NCAA?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so he brought more players in last year. They started doing better. Everybody was working together really well, and they started winning. And then this year, they are undefeated in their conference, and they are number 7 nationally. And this weekend is their last regular game. Then they go to playoffs. But if they get to the 6th, is it like seed? 6th seed nationally, then they go to the championship in Seattle, Washington. And that will be in December. So that's super exciting. I am so proud of them.
It's not quite a worst first, but it's worst to almost first.
Huh?
That's a thing like that happens in pro sports. Like the worst team becomes the best one. They say it's the worst to first kind of thing.
Oh. Well, the really cool thing is there's one girl on the team. She is the last of the first. And it's her senior day is Saturday.
Oh.
And it's going to be really cool because she went from being one of the first players when it was the worst to being able to be there for this. And I just think that's special. So.
It's very neat. Snowflake Cat Chanel again with the blowing kisses pair sticker, which is adorable. The pair has an adorable little headband on. It's very cute. Sue Ann said, any chance of a quantum realm tank in the future? That would be very cool, especially for my little Foxface Jake tank.
Yeah.
Because the quantum realm has all those cool, she doesn't even know what that is, but all the cool colors and all the purple and all of that stuff, that would be very cool. But my theme tanks have been quite fails over the last year. So we'll have to see about that. But that's a cool idea though. And I don't think anybody's done that. So that'd be neat. Ellen Horcher, I so enjoyed you and Jake on stage together. One of the highlights of Aquashella. May he rest in peace. Yeah. And you know, anybody that was there that weekend that saw him up there with me would have never imagined there was anything wrong. And I don't know if there was anything wrong. I don't think there was. I mean, I think it was something that was just as much a shock to him as it was anybody else. It's so shocking when you see, I was a mess up on stage, but he was completely held together, and it was very, very, very sad, but that was a blast. And that was not the last moment that I spent with him, but that's the last big thing. And I'm very glad that I was able to do that there, you know, before it happened. Burnell Williams Jr., again, been watching you and Lisa for the last year as my wife and I started with African cichlids
Oh, nice.
last December. I've learned so much from you and just want to say thank you for all your time and knowledge. Well, thank you. Good grief.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming in here and hanging out with us for a little bit. I'm glad we're able to give you some of that knowledge. And there's going to be some cool, there's quite a few African cichlid videos that are going to be coming up very soon on our channel. So be on the lookout for that. One of them involves 2,000 pounds of rocks. Be ready for that. If you watched last Thursday's video that I put up in place of the stream, I showed those rocks and they are going to be glorious. I also hinted in that video where those rocks are going to go. So stay tuned to find out. Nanners, is that formerly Nanners Piddlesmith, or is it just a new one named Nanners?
I love that name, Nanners.
Wife and I saw the debate and enjoyed it. I had hoped to have a conversation with Jake afterwards, but missed the chance. Very knowledgeable and well-spoken. Yeah, we sat there for probably 20 minutes after the talk and or after the debate. Sat there at the front of the stage and talked to a bunch of people. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, Jake was a guy that always had a crowd around him, so it was hard to get him one-on-one. But that's how much he was appreciated everywhere he went. So the Big Joe 431 became a member. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for joining the team. Tiana Hastings, Tiana, it's probably how you say it, officially here 1 year.
Wow. Awesome.
How about that? Get that glorious little red badge. Leslie Perry, I've had a 55-gallon Tiger Barb 35 Tiger Barbs for 4 years. Wow. In the last 2 months, I've lost on average 1 fish per week. No signs of disease. Google Lifespan says 5 to 7 years. Should I be worried, or are they dying of old age?
You know what? You don't know how old they were when you got them, did you?
That was exactly what I was about to say.
Just because, I mean, unless you got them from somebody who bred them. But they could have been a year old or 2 years old when you got them. I think 4 years is pretty good, honestly.
If you've had 35 Tiger Barbs in a tank for 4 years without any of them dying, you've done real daggone good, my lady. And so to have them start to kind of, let nature take its course now, I'm sure it's hard because after 4 years, you've gotten real attached to them, but I would not panic. I would definitely do some testing, see what's going on. Is there something different about the tank now than there was, over the last 4 years? But if everything's the same, you're up on your maintenance, which I know you are, because you're one of those people. The levels are good. You said there's no sign of disease. I mean, it probably is just about that time for them. Like Lisa said, you have no idea how old they were when you got them, because unfortunately these fish don't come with birth certificates unless you're buying $8,000 koi. I mean, you're not going to get any birth certificates. You're not going to know anything about them. So yeah. Oinkmaster Supreme Forever. Is there any tank mates you've ever had with fancy goldfish that was a disaster? Yes. I have a gentle elder Blackmore who is alone, but I want to change that.
Just don't put regular goldfish in with them.
Well, we've had 2 that were not good matches with the fancy goldfish, with the fantails that we have. One was Danios.
Really?
Well, the Danios were not mean to them, because I don't think Danios are capable of being mean, but they're just all over the place.
Oh, they do better with the comets or the feeder fish that we have.
Yeah, that's who they're with now, and they do fine. But when they were with the fancies, the fancies are derpy, and they're just kind of like, oh, life is so beautiful. I just love my life. And then all of a sudden there's going around on top of them all day long with the Danios, because that's what Danios are. They were not happy.
And then we tried to stick the goldfish, the feeder goldfish, in with the fancies because we were trying to get everything ready for our move. And they started beating them up.
Yeah.
Like
the feeders started beating up the fancies.
Because they got some size on them. They're like probably that big. And
yeah, that was another huge mistake. We'll never make that one again.
Really well with the white clouds.
Yep. We have about, I don't know how many white clouds are in there. I think we started with like 8, and
there might be 8 still.
Might still be 8. I don't know. Yeah. And they're perfectly fine. Like you wouldn't even know that they had tank mates. They'd get along very, very well. And yeah, that's the success that we've had. But goldfish are also perfectly fine on their own. I mean, if the white clouds were not in that tank with the 3 fancy tails, I don't think they would care. But they've got the 3 of them, and they're always kind of hanging out together. And, they make a nice little trio, a little throuple, if you will. And, the white clouds are up top doing their thing. So
Oh,
There you
I
go.
see somebody in here, and she asked a question, and it's perfect timing. Jennifer Anderson asked me, how often, if at all, do you deworm your discus? And I have never dewormed my discus, so I can't help you there. And I wanted to say thank you. Jennifer Anderson sent us these really cool cups. Look at mine. Look, isn't that cool? Can you see the beta?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go.
Isn't it awesome? And then it has a
Bluetooth speaker on it.
It has a Bluetooth speaker on it. That's just so neat.
But mine's better because it has Severus in it, and
Thank
it has
you,
Bellatrix,
Jennifer.
and it has Voldemort. We do not say his name. Don't you say his name. Yeah, I'm a child, and Jen knows it. So she bought me the Harry Potter one. I love it.
Yeah, that was so sweet. Thank you. What a huge surprise.
Yeah.
And the cats like the box that it came in. Just so you know. Baby Kitty likes to sleep in it.
Yeah. Matt Laparo, hopefully I'm saying your name right, Matt. Would pea puffers be okay in a 75-gallon with turtles and with good hiding places? I'm going to go ahead and say no on that. I don't know. I'm not a turtle guy. I love turtles. I think they're amazing. I've never really been a turtle keeper, but
snacks.
Yeah, I'm just afraid the pea puffers wouldn't be in the tank very long because turtles, not all of them, but a lot of turtles they like the sound of fish bones crunching in their mouth. So I probably wouldn't do that. There are turtles that do not do that though. So those, maybe you would be okay, but I don't know. I don't know enough about turtles to tell you confidently. Delilah's Critter's the one that does not like orange colored riding lawnmowers. Thank you for the betas. We named one Astro and the other John Waters. Nice.
Oh, nice.
They're both John Waters is the name of a fish. That's really, really cool. Why not Waylon Jennings? Anyway.
I think that's adorable.
They're both doing great, and I'm honored you offered for me to rescue two.
Aw. Yeah, I reached out to her. I saw that she ordered one, and there was another one that I thought was like just so sweet and everything. And I was like, I really want to find this one a home. It needs a certain person. And I was like, Delilah would be the person. If she wants him, she can have him. So I did get another beta though in one of my last shipments, and it's a female, and she's gorgeous, and she is just so beautiful. She's a Candy Nemo, and one of her eyes is messed up really, really bad. So
Great, I'm going to get 9 emails tonight. Thanks.
And it's just, she's so beautiful. I have her in one of my little 5-gallon aquatop tanks, and with plants and everything, but she is definitely going to be put on, like, she'll be a rescue, but it just has to be the right person, because I've gotten kind of attached to her, and I don't want to do that, because it's like I want to like give them chances to kind of have, I like to swap the rescues out a little bit, because they don't move as quickly as if somebody just orders a regular fish with no problems. But I try to give them some normalcy. But she's beautiful. Love her.
Lady Rorschach said, John, we need to know where you got the Snape cup. I love all things Alan Rickman, so I need one. Well, yeah, you just found out where it was from. I'm not sure where Jen got these, but I'm assuming she had them made, or maybe, I don't know. But Jen would probably,
awesome.
Jen Anderson, who is in the chat, at least she was earlier, I'm sure would be able to tell you where she got them from.
You guys are very welcome.
Yeah, I love it. I will be drinking out of Severus's head a lot.
That's so funny. I see Whips World is here, and thinking of you, Whips World. Not going to say why, because it's your business and everything, but thinking of you today.
Absolutely. Zen Ginger, here she goes again. 38 months, still no badge. I'm getting a complex. Well, maybe we should just make the 36-month badge Severus Snape. I mean, for crying out loud, we got to figure something out.
Agree on that?
Why has it got to be on me? Maybe you should come up with what it is.
I think it should be Carl.
Well, then maybe it'll be Carl. I do have a pretty funny picture of his head. Maybe I'll use that. Liquid Zoo OnlyFins. Isn't that who you need to talk about here?
Yes, Liquid Zoo OnlyFins.
It says became a member, but has been a member for a while. I think he re-upped during the stream here tonight.
To find them. We got these really awesome badges sent to us, and my iPad is sitting on them. Oopsie daisies. This one is yours, and this one is mine.
Well, you can show them both. I got to refill my Severus Snape cup here.
See? Isn't it super cute? And it's got a snail charm on it, and it's a fish fam badge. And it's Roots and Whiskers. That's me. That's my channel. I love it. Thank you so much. And John got this one. It's a snail charm too. And it says John. KG Tropicals. Super cute. Thank you for thinking of us. That was really awesome. What an awesome thing to get. We can wear them to Aquashella.
There are people that are in the chat right now that are going, that's who Roots and Whiskers is. Because you've responded to their comments.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny because I don't think everybody realizes that I'm Roots and Whiskers now. I changed my name. It was Lisa KG Tropicals, and I decided to change my name because we moved here and I did a video with Gerald, and I need to do more. We just got really involved with getting everything set up, and I just hadn't had time, but there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about with Gerald because he's come a long way. That cat was something else. But anyways, but I changed my name to Roots and Whiskers because I have I don't know, I really love plants and I love cats. I'm not just a fish keeper, even though I'm with fish more than anything else in the world. And I'm constantly, I have my hands in fish tanks, but I also love my cats, and I have a major addiction with plants. So that's why I changed that to Roots and Whiskers instead of Lisa KG Tropicals, because that sounded kind of weird to do a cat video and it say Lisa KG Tropicals. It made sense for me responding to people in chat or going into other people's live streams and stuff as Lisa KG Tropicals. Everybody knew who I was. When I go in now as Roots and Whiskers, unless you're somebody that is like a member or somebody who's close and knows that, I changed my name, not everybody knows. So it's like I'll go in and they're like, oh, and Roots and Whiskers said this, and Roots and Whiskers said that. But they don't realize it's me, and it's funny.
Charlotte Adams, so sorry about Jake. I was going to try to stay the whole stream, but have been pretty sick this week. Take care of everyone. Take care, everyone. Aww. Sorry to hear that, Charlotte. You're probably not here, but maybe you're watching this on replay.
Yeah,
sorry that you're not feeling good. Kyle Darcy became a member. Welcome to the team, Kyle. Rachel shouldn't. There it is. Yep, first time. There.
Schildman.
Thank you.
Right?
Schildman.
Schildman.
John, are you drinking from a Snape cup? No, I'm drinking from a Voldemort. Oh, you can't see it. Voldemort, Snape, and Bellatrix cup. Bellatrix Lestrange. Yes. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. A gift from Jen Anderson. Total shock, total surprise. Thank you, Jen, for that. So many comments about the Snape cup. And she knew that was going to happen too. Jen is sitting in her chair going, that's me. Snowflake Cat Chanel again.
Her friend makes them, I saw.
Oh, cool. I'm just going to keep saying Chanel because it's only one N. With a heart. Thank you for that. Melanie DC, plant of the day. I went from 0 plants to 7 plants inside. Thanks, Lisa. And I can hear the attitude in that. Thanks, Lisa. That's how it is. That's how it's being said. You don't have a plant this week, do you?
Well, this is the reason why. our house is upside down right now, and my plants are
Not where they're
everywhere.
supposed to be.
My plants, it's really bad. I sent a video to Zen showing her the kitchen, like our entire kitchen table, the counters, everywhere. Plants are everywhere. So yeah, no plant of the day right now.
I am currently remodeling our family room, which is the room that, is where the TV goes and all of that. Some people call that a living room. Some people call it a rec room. And it's not been a quick project. So the room's been turned completely upside down for the last 2 weeks. So the house is completely all over the place. And the one that's been put out the most by it is our beagle, because she doesn't have the couch in her normal spot to go lay in.
She's so upset about that. She's sleeping in the hallway on the couch because the couch is like, everything's moved out. It's crazy.
She found it. She found the couch. She can get up there, but
So I see a couple like Leslie Perry and Lady Vorshak. Do you guys want me to do a live stream on Roots and Whiskers sometimes, like for plants? I've never thought about it, but maybe I could, because we could talk about plants and cats and fish and a lot of plants
and some cats.
Oh, that would be fun.
Fistachio, my friend, that is as much a Breaking Benjamin fan as I am. This is going to be my last time on the stream for a while. Bye, everyone. Well, that was abrupt. I sure would like to know an explanation. Was it something I said? I hope not.
What? Who said what?
Fistachio.
What do you mean?
He just said it's going to be his last time on the stream for a while. Bye, everyone. He's got some stuff going on. That's what it is.
Oh, I hope he's okay.
I do too. Dwayne Moretta. I bought a half dozen high fin white skirt tetras last week, and they look amazing in my bow front with the black background. I wouldn't have normally bought them, but they really caught my eye. You know what? Dwayne, you and I are very similar because we like what we like, and we don't care what anybody else says about it. Now listen, nobody's going to make fun of you for having high fin white skirt tetras, but a lot of your elitists would be like, really? White skirt tetras? Come on. You should be doing these wild caught blah, 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 blah nerd stuff. But you like what you like. Me, I have a tank full of Oscars. Who would have thought to do that? I love them, and I don't give a what anybody says about it. And if they don't like the Oscars, you know what they can do.
Right.
So good on you, my friend. It looks cool in the tank up against that black background. Yeah. I mean, hey, listen. There's so many fish out there that don't get the credit they deserve, and white skirt tetras are one of them. I think they're awesome. I really do. Maybe people call them beginner fish. I call them fish, period. So good for you. Rick Silva became a member. Definitely sounds like a singer from the 80s. Rick Silva. Or maybe a wrestler. That could be a wrestler's name. It's a nice name, Rick. I like that. Link625, another band maybe from the 90s. That'd be perfect. Became a member. Matt Laparo again. What are your thoughts on aquatic isopods? I don't get it.
Isopods? Like the little
roly-polies. Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I think it's neat. I mean, people are into those. People like Bob Stingfot have all these drawers full of them and stuff. Personally, I don't get it. But that doesn't mean they're bad. But I know there's some really cool little roly-polies out there with fancy colors and stuff like that, but it's just not really my thing. But a lot of people are into them, so I'm not against them. It's just not my thing. I pronounce it our, okay? I don't like saying our aquatic universe with Mike B. I just seen 5 minutes ago that my 2 gold Severum has eggs in a 150.
Hey, ours did that with the Oscars, though.
And they become fierce little egg protectors when they have them too. The Oscars don't even mess with them, but we've never tried either to have the eggs amount to anything. But yeah, I mean, we could probably try, but what are we going to do with all the babies if we get them? So, we let nature take its course in that tank. That tank, by the way.
Did he say where you got him at, is he the one that's at Jungle Aquatics? Because that's...
Oh, I just got the mail from my local place at Jungle Aquatics.
I've been there before. That's a really cool store.
You went there?
Yeah.
That's not the one with the big African cichlid tank. That's Aquariums Unlimited or...
Yeah, but that's the one that used to be the other guy's store that had the big cat.
Animal Jungle. Yeah.
And now...
And the birds and the... Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was, and always probably will be, my favorite pet store that I've ever been to, was Animal Jungle. And you know who messed that up? PETA. That's who messed up Animal Jungle. We have met and spent some time with the owner, who I was always told, like I'm sure you were, that is the owner of Jungle Aquatics. Is his name Mike? We met him.
Something else.
We
met him at Hans.
Yeah, we were at Discus Hans, and he came up there to pick up fish, a lot of fish, and we talked with him for a bit. Good dude, and we learned a lot in that conversation about what he went through with PETA. You know, PETA doesn't like us having pets, and you have a store like that had like a big giant
cat.
Well, they had the cat, and I don't remember what kind of cat it was, but it was like some exotic.
It's like a serval?
I guess so, but I thought it was bigger than a serval. I thought a serval, whatever, maybe it was. And that cat had an enclosure that would rival the setup we have for our cats. I mean, that cat had an amazing setup. Something that would be like you would see at a zoo.
Small to me, though.
But it was multiple areas, though. Like there was a bridge that went across, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And there was
probably would have been happier out in the wild.
Well, wouldn't every animal? But then he had the giant reptile of some kind. It wasn't an alligator. I don't know what it was, but it was giant. It was like 8 feet long in the back. And then they had an aviary in there that had birds all over the place. They had really cool setups there where you could go to that pet store and see things that you would not see at other pet stores. And PETA didn't like it. So they would protest and they would try to get them shut down. And it made it so impossible for him to run his business that he had to shut it down. And it's a damn shame because that was a really cool place. It was the kind of place where it would almost be like taking your kids to the zoo.
His name is Bob.
Bob? Oh, why did I say Mike?
Yeah, he said, I love the Animal Jungle. Bob is his name. He helped deliver my 150 to my house. That's awesome. Yeah, he's a good guy.
And it's just it's a shame. You know, I could talk about it all night. It's a shame what happened with that store. But I hope Jungle Aquatics is his, and I hope it's a wild success because he deserves it. He did not deserve what happened to him at Animal Jungle. Snowflake Cat Chanel again says, "Hi, what do you do when your beta gets a cut, and can I have some information on the nitrite cycle?"
Well, with a cut, I would just keep that water clean and add salt. That's it. Make sure the temperature is at the right level, and I would between 78 and 80, and keep catappa leaves in there to help, was that Ike?
Oh, that's Mags.
Oh.
Moving the bowl.
But salt catappa leaves, and just make sure he's eating or she's eating correctly and not acting weird, because if you have to add an antibiotic, you can, but I wouldn't jump to that at first.
I'm letting everybody see what this little 4-pound dog does to a water bowl that probably weighs as much as she does. When it's empty, she protests like no other dog I've ever seen. That
That's hilarious.
That bowl will be on the other side of the room by the time we're done here.
Fool.
She will move and look at her looking at me like, "Hey, dummy, come on. Aren't you going to put more water in this? Can't you see I'm just dehydrated down here?"
That's hilarious.
But that's why I moved to the side. We'll watch her as she does that. It's fun. It gets real annoying when you're in the same room with her and she's constantly beating on that thing. And
well, that's how she gets her water.
I know, and I will get her water, but As far as the nitrite cycle, the correct term would be the nitrogen cycle. I think that's what you meant, because nitrite is a part of that. But listen, normally I would say, okay, listen, go watch my videos because I've done like 12 of them on the nitrogen cycle. But because you included a $20 super chat, good grief. I mean, I got to give you a little bit of something. The number one thing that you need for the cycle is patience. A lot of people get a little panicked with it. They're like, Mags, I can't even concentrate here. In camera, she looks like she's 25 feet away. She's like right here. But anyway, a lot of people get to panicking when when they're going through the cycle, because things start to elevate. You start to get ammonia, you start to get nitrite, and all of a sudden the fish are up at the top gasping and they're freaking out. She's in the bowl now.
She's in the bowl.
and they panic and they start doing things to try to fix the problem. And that is the biggest mistake that anybody makes when their tank is going through the cycle. Because what needs to happen is the tank needs to go through the cycle. And if you are constantly doing huge water changes and cleaning everything and doing water changes aren't bad, but you're cleaning out the filter and you're changing cartridges and you're adding this and adding that and vacuuming out the gravel and cleaning off the glass real good to try to keep that water clean, you're actually doing more harm than good, which is why I say patience is the key. You don't want your fish to die. Don't be so patient that you just allow all of your fish to perish during the cycle, because that would be equally as bad. But you do need to allow there to be some time that goes by to allow nature to do its thing. So doing those water changes to take bad water out that's full of ammonia and putting clean water back in, it's not full of ammonia, using a product like Fritz Complete or Seachem Prime to detoxify all of those bad things in the water while the tank is going through the cycle. I don't mean to be sitting them with my back to you. It's kind of rude, but I just thought everybody would be entertained by Mags's antics. Using the product to help get through it doesn't fix the problem, but what it does is kind of purifies the water so that they can get through the process. And then you just have to have patience and let nature do its thing.
Why don't you go give her some water?
I will do that. But now, after saying that, I still do encourage you to watch the multiple videos that I've done. And I think actually the best one did we do it or was it just me? I think it was just me.
Just you. Because you just say it like you talk about it every day in class.
Well, it's not that complicated. I mean,
I know, but just the way you explain it is just so much better.
I did a video that is called A Dummy's Guide. Well, no, the video is called The Most Important Aquarium Video You Will Ever Watch, or something like that. And it is, because if you're a new fish keeper, you probably do not know that there's even a cycle. Like, what is that? I thought, that was something a woman went through every month. What is a cycle? I don't get it. It's a pretty big shock to you when you discover that there is an aquarium cycle. And so it is the most important video that anybody that's keeping a glass box full of water can watch, because you need to know these things. And I'm a little bit biased, I guess, but I think it is the most common sense, no-brainer explanation of what the cycling process is. And I spent probably 40 hours working on all the little animations and stuff like that for that video. Very proud of it. So definitely check that one out. I think it's, like I said, I think it's called The Most Important Aquarium Video Ever Made. And somebody's probably already shared it, because that's what our mods do, because they're the best. But I will look it up. But I'm going to turn it over to you.
Yeah, I think she's literally swallowing her spit now.
She has the bowl halfway across the room now.
Ah.
So I'm gonna get her water, and then I'll get Roxy for Leslie Perry.
Okay. Well, I wanted to do the poll. I did a poll yesterday, and I figured we'd talk about it. when it comes to the aquarium hobby, which way do you prefer viewing it on YouTube? And it didn't get a lot of votes. And I think the reason why is because, well, lately there hasn't been a lot of votes on the polls because I wasn't consistent for a couple months. I had stopped. I took a little break from doing the polls and I just started back up recently. So I don't know if people just don't know they're there or what. But anyways, it got 4.8 thousand votes, 258 likes, and 95 comments. And as far as what people prefer the most, it was, well, the choices were live streams, videos under 10 minutes, videos over 10 minutes, shorts, or other. And live streams only got 3%. So 3% of people like live streams. Videos under 10 minutes, 53% of people wanted videos under 10 minutes. Videos over 10 minutes was at 41%. Shorts was 1%. And other was 2%. And I have a few comments. Leah Outper says, for me, it depends on topic. Some videos I think need a super in-depth video and others I think can be short and sweet. Leslie Da Silva said all of the above, actually, but when they're over 10 minutes, viewing becomes my happy place. Emperor X says, honestly, a mix of long and short videos. Fish Out of Water says, I prefer the longer videos and live streams, and I completely refuse to click on shorts. Joe Provenzano says, I hate shorts. Did I mention I hate shorts? And Pleasant said, ugh, live streams are awful, should be in its own sub channel. So there's that. 3% of people voted for live streams.
So here's Roxy. She is, I had to pick her up from the couch. She was laying down. She's very lazy.
She's so silly.
But she's doing extremely well and wants to go now. So there was her appearance. She's going to, are you going to lay here? She might lay here at my feet. And she gets kicked all the time when she lays by my feet. But yeah, she's doing really, really well. As lazy as ever. Somebody said, and I know where this rascal was going. Where was it?
Oh, I want to answer this real quick. Crayon Tail Half Moon asked Lisa any advice on treating Popeye and betas. Again, I would suggest clean water, catappa leaves. I would use salt, and I would also use Maricin 2 by Fritz. You could go with Maricin 1, but I would just go ahead and go with Maricin 2 just because it's there already. Just go ahead and go straight to Maricin 2 and follow the directions. It should help. I can't guarantee it will take it all away, though, but it should help.
Carson K. Tropicals said, and you're gonna be like, I see what you did there. What do you think would happen if someone who owns a beta fighting arena tried to get a girlfriend? Wasn't that the video where you said, no, it was the feeder fish video where you said you might get a girlfriend if you stop feeding feeder fish. But so Carson, here's the deal. If you had one, first of all, you really need to find a better hobby because that's just pathetic. And second of all, there's probably maybe 4 women on Earth that would be like, oh, that's cool. So maybe you'll get lucky and find one of those high quality ladies, or maybe you'll just be single for the rest of your life. But
was it a joke, or just like?
But ladies don't. They're not entertained by animals killing each other, and you know what? Neither am I. So, yeah. Good luck in your pursuit. Give me an update when you're still single 6 months from now. And I'm giving him a hard time because he's giving us a hard time.
But
it's all said in fun, Carson.
Oh, I don't even know where that came from.
It was a comment. What do you mean where that came from?
I didn't see it. But yeah, what he said.
Melissa Jeswald, Jack's update, his diabetes is getting better.
Yay! You stopped giving him sugar. That's good. I'm just kidding, Melissa.
I have a special thing. She bought.
I'm glad to hear that. Ike, stop being so drama.
In case y'all are wondering, my male Chihuahua, when he drinks a lot, and he drinks so much water that he ends up spitting up. And she gets mad at him. And it's like, he's not doing it on purpose.
Mad. It's just.
You tell him stop being drama.
Stop being drama. He's over dramatic.
She bought for Gerald these little, they're called squeeze ups. And they're like Go-Gurts for cats. If you've ever had a Go-Gurt, instead of being full of yogurt, it's full of like yucky smelling fishy stuff. Yeah. Gerald is the only one of our 7 cats. I haven't tried the 2 in the fish house, but the only one of 5 cats that actually likes them.
To Honey, she has allergies.
Well, I haven't. Good. She didn't want it anyway. I tried with them. She didn't want it.
You're gonna have her break out.
No, she didn't want it. Gerald's the only one, so that's a special little thing that him and I do every day. I take him a little squeeze up thing, and Gerald gets one of those. So it doesn't have anything to do with diabetes, but it has to do with a cat. So, but I'm very glad. Melissa, that your cat is doing better.
I know, because Jax is so special. I love Jax. Jax reminds me of Honey with his hair. So
on the replay here, it's just now showing me go up to get water for the dogs. Huh. This might be a good time to address your poll.
I just did. Where were you?
No, I'm saying to speak on it. Me speak on it. So listen, folks. There are a lot of reasons that I'm going to say what I'm about to say. Being overloaded with work, and that's a good thing because, the business is doing well. The business is growing. We're bringing in new stuff. We've got new filters on the way. Stay tuned for that. Members know what the filters are. And so if you are a member and you did not watch the live stream that we did before this, you're going to want to go check that out if you're curious to know what filters we're bringing in. But we've got some canister filters on the way. We've got the Ultra Zeros from CJ, which we're going to be giving one away tonight. Here it is, the one from the video. Brand new in the box. We're going to be giving it away very soon. I can't believe we haven't done it already. Things are going well, and we're overloaded. And when you put that on top of the fact that we have a internet signal that is not the best for streaming, and you put to that only 3% of people that responded to that poll appreciate live streams, it is only fitting that we scale back the live streams. There's another reason why. We don't have anything else to talk about. We've done so many live streams that it makes it very difficult to come up with topics to do without just rehashing all of them over and over and over and over again, and answering the same questions over and over and over again, which I'm not yelling at anybody. It's just part of the deal. I'm not mad at anybody for it. When you put all of that together, and for us to maintain our sanity, we are going to have to scale back the live streaming. And what we're going to do, starting today, we're going to try this for a little bit and then see if we need to scale back even more. But we are going to start live streaming Thursday nights every other week. Same time as we do now. It's just not going to be every week.
And John will put up, or I will put up, like a post prior. So you know, because you might forget every other week. Is it this week or was it last week? Did I miss it? So there'll be that post put up, and you can click notification. If you're not subscribed, you're not going to get that. as a reminder, but if you are subscribed, then you will get that post that pops up in your feed, and it'll have a notification, what do you call it, thing on there, and you just click notification, and you'll get reminded when it's time for the live stream, and it's that easy.
Yep. But for now, it's going to be every other week. There may be situations like we would like to join the Raleigh Aquarium Society.
Yes, and they are the first Thursday of every month, and we're just unable to go to them. And I want to go to Fish Club so bad. I have been wanting to go there ever since we moved here.
There's going to be times where that's the second week and it's going to line up with that. And so we'll have to push it, and figure out another way to make up the live stream for there. This does not apply to members only live streams. Those are still going to happen. We're going to do them at different times, and it's going to be
figure that one out.
Yeah, it would probably be a different time every week for member streams. But for the public stream, it's going to be every other week, and for all the reasons that we just talked about. And here's the thing. See, you may see this, you may not. You're not seeing it in real time because YouTube is way behind where we are right now. Because I just saw you go and get, what you saw me going to get Roxy, that was 10 minutes ago, but you just saw it. And the reason why is because of the internet signal that we have here. Elon Musk's satellite internet is great. It's great, except for streaming. Elon has done it right, and maybe someday it'll be stronger than it is right now. But the signal for this internet goes up and down, and it's because it's moving from satellite to satellite. That's fine if you're watching a YouTube video or watching a movie on Netflix or browsing the internet. But when you're streaming and it switches, it screws things up. And so what I'm constantly looking at here on my screen is a big yellow banner that says YouTube is not receiving enough signal. When that happens, you are either going to see a blip to where we dropped out, but then we picked back up again and it's a different time, like you jumped into the future, or you're going to see that wheel of death sitting there buffering. And I can't do that. I can't tolerate that. It's 2022. And if you're watching a live stream and you see that circle, you're going to check out. And people do. I'm sitting here watching our numbers because I can see right now it says 346 people. And as soon as I get that banner, it'll drop down to like 250. And then when the banner goes away, it'll come back up again. So I'm convinced that if we had a proper signal, this guy, the numbers would be consistent,
That's so funny, Nate.
So that crazy man, is that us he's watching? Yeah, that rascal. The birthday boy just texted me during the live stream. Thanks for interrupting there.
His birthday was last Friday.
I know. Tanner Serpa just turned, what was he, 54?
Shush, he's 30.
He's 30.
Oh, should I have said that? He might not want people to know. He doesn't look 30. It's so funny.
I could literally be his father. And
and Nate,
he could be my grandson.
Nate is a trip. I love that kid.
He's watching us, and Tanner just sent us a picture of Nate and a very aggressive looking facial expression watching us.
I don't know. It looks like he's like.
It looks like he wants to fight me. Like I'm a little bit nervous. I'm nervous now. Nate is one of those guys that can be standing there and you're like having a conversation and he just does a backflip.
I know.
He's one of those guys.
So funny.
We were sitting at Aquashella one day. He's sitting, I believe, right next to me or somewhere. Who cares? And he's sitting there and he just goes, watch this. And he jumps and he like goes and does this freaking parkour move over a table. And I'm just like, oh my God, I wouldn't walk for a week if I did that. But
he's in the stream.
Is he in there now?
He said, "You have socks older than me."
If they're as old as Tanner, they're way older than you, Nate. A lot of people sent in a little happy birthday wish for Tanner. His wife put together a little video for him, and I had said in the video, "You're 30? Like, I've got socks that are 30 years old." And it's true, I do. But no, I don't think I do. But I've got.
You might.
I mean, 30. I remember 30. 18 years ago.
Oh my gosh. I remember when I turned 30, they got me a cake because I was working at the hospital then, and they got me a cake, and I remember being so upset. I was like, I'm 30, and now I'm like, I wish I was 30. I wish I was 30.
Yeah. Tanner, when you were born, I had already graduated high school. I was working my big boy job, and yeah, boy, time flies.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And listen,
a lot of people had birthdays the last week. See, Tanner's was
Jason?
Friday, and Jason from Prime Times was the 6th. Was it? What? I forget. Zen.
Ninth?
It was Zen's birthday too, on the exact same day because they shared a birthday. And I remember. Guess who else had a birthday that day? Who was born?
Engelbert Humperdinck.
No.
Oh, I don't
My
know.
baby betas. I had 2 spawns that day. I had the green aliens, which I named Zen Alien Betas, and then the blue aliens, which I named Prime Aliens. The Prime Aliens.
Because Jason aliens just wouldn't have sounded
Yeah.
right. That just wouldn't have been.
Prime Aliens and Zen Aliens. So
I suppose we could have named them Tanner aliens or Serpa aliens.
why? But they were born on their birthday, though.
Yeah,
It was
but Tanner
that
has
day.
more subscribers, so you know.
They weren't born on his birthday.
I know. I'm just being funny.
Sorry, Tanner.
I mean,
Maybe next year.
yeah. I have said I would like to be the first one that gets to go up and be at Tanner's new spot, and I don't think I'm going to be able to because I think somebody else is going to beat me there,
I think Nate already did.
and it bothers me. And you know, Tanner said he was going to make the trip down to North Carolina too. I'm not holding my breath on that one.
Well, he
We'll have
just
to see.
moved. Do you know how long it's taken us to get established here? It's going to take him just as long.
I
He's
mean,
got a
we
lot of
worked
things to
really
do.
hard to make sure we were ready for you, Tanner, and you never showed up. He's in the chat now too. Serpa aliens. See, he likes that idea. You know how much money we could get for Serpa aliens? Forget about it. We could clean up.
Serpa aliens. That's hilarious.
Somebody said they have a straight razor that's 30 years old. Yeah, I mean, I tried a straight razor one time. It wasn't pretty. It didn't work out. Not a straight razor. One of those safety razors. They don't work on your head, or at least not if you're me. Adam Schoenwald said, I'm about to set up my first 150 gallon. First of all, congratulations. One of the best tank sizes you can get. Do you have any tips or secrets on setting it up that you wouldn't typically do with smaller tanks? Yes. Well, not a secret. I would use canister filters, first of all. Either one of the big high dollar ones or a couple of the smaller, lower dollar ones, but just as good. And you know what? Here's the best advice that I could give you, Adam. You're probably a younger guy. I don't have any reason to know that. I'm just guessing that you're a younger guy. Nate said, or Tanner said, me and Nate will be there. We'll pull up. I got a lot of really cool things on this property that Nate could jump over, Tanner. So you can have a lot of fun.
I've got a lot of cool things that you're going to like and want to collect. I mean, awesome stuff. I love it.
But Adam, here's the thing that I would tell you would be the best piece of advice you've gotten all night as far as your 150. 150 gallon tank. If you're talking about the 6 by 18 by like 29 tall or something like that. They're 6 feet long and they're the same depth as a 125, but they're taller than the 125. Best piece of advice I could give you is sit on it for a little bit. I don't mean physically put your butt on it. I mean, have it in there and take your time.
Yeah, true.
because that is a prize. That tank is like most fish keepers' dream to have a tank that size. Don't screw it up by being overly anxious to get it done right now because I want my fish in there right now. Take your time, set it up slowly, and you'll be so much happier at the end. It's never going to go anywhere. I mean, once you get it in, them things weigh like 300 without any water in them. So once you get it in place, you're not going to want to be moving it around. Just sit there and look at it for a little while and put together the best setup slowly, even if it takes you a little while. Patience is one of the things that I've been forced in my old age to learn. And it's the best thing ever to be patient with them.
Are you going to do the giveaway?
I need to do the giveaway now. And I'm going to assume that the person that we have chosen to be the recipient of the giveaway.
I hope they're here.
It's probably not here. If they're not here, I will
We'll have to
reach
figure
out
it
to them through YouTube. It might be difficult.
That could be, that's when people would be like thinking it's a spam thing, you know, like one of those trolley things.
We'll have to see. But what we did last Thursday, I did a video not about this pump, but it was a video featuring this pump. And I told everybody how amazing this thing is. And it is. It's absolutely incredible. This is a pump that just moves a lot of water very fast. 800 gallons per hour. 793, but hey, we'll say 800 because it sounds better. I love to use this thing for doing water changes. Hook it up to a garden hose, run it outside. Let's let the water go and put it, I droop it over the tank and let it hang down as far as I want the water to go. And I just walk away. And when it gets down to the bottom, you start hearing it going. That's when you know, okay, your water's drained out and it's time to go.
It is the best thing ever.
We've used it in emergencies before, where the house we were living at in Virginia, the basement was underground. This house doesn't have a basement, but that one did. And it was completely underground. And when there was torrential rains, the bottom of the stairwell would fill full of water. And sometimes it was just the sump couldn't keep up or whatever it was. So I would put that out there, hooked up to the garden hose, pump that water right out there. Not a problem anymore. And I said in that video, I'm going to give this away. CJ sent me this extra to give away to you. I could keep it. I could be selfish. And CJ wouldn't have a problem with it. This thing retails for $100 and I could keep it. But I'm not that guy.
We already have one.
And I already have one that works perfectly well. So I said, I'm going to give it away. And what I'm going to do is instead of doing a random comment picker thing, I'm going to give it away to a comment that we pick. We're going to pick out our favorite.
We picked them out not knowing what we were going to pick out. Like he picked out a few and I picked out a few. And then we checked to see if we picked out the same one, and we did. And
we
it
both
was really
picked this
cool.
one.
Out of what, like 500 and something comments,
Lots of them.
I picked 3. I don't know how many you picked, and then
I picked 4.
Oh, okay. So out of those 7, we chose 2 of them were the exact same. So I just thought that was really cool.
Robert Campanelli. I hope I'm saying your name right. And because this is a gentleman that is a little more advanced in years than us, if he's on the East Coast, might be in bed by now. I don't know. I'm a 70-year-old retired senior who still does water changes on my 5-gallon tanks by bucket. This pump would save my back. Thanks for the chance to win. This hits a lot of this checks a lot of boxes for me. First of all, 70-year-olds should not be carrying buckets. You've earned the right to not be carrying buckets. And when you mention back, you are looking at somebody who is a lifetime back pain sufferer and inversion table owner and back surgery having person. I can absolutely sympathize with anybody that has back pain. So first of all, it's awesome that a 70-year-old is in this hobby with us. We would call them one of the old timers, right? That's what we would call them. And it's not a disrespect thing. It's like,
I
hey,
hope to still be in the hobby at 70.
yes, me too. I hope to still be alive at 70.
What I'm saying. Because if I am, then I'll still be keeping fish.
I'll be 70 and Tanner Serpo will be 40. But you'll be an old man by then, Tanner. He ain't here anymore. But no, we both picked Robert. And Robert, I hope you're here. If you're not, I will message him through YouTube. It's just going to be a reply to his comment. I don't know if he's going to get it. I hope he does.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, we will go to the second one that we picked.
You know what? You put a post up about the live stream and you were going to be announcing it. So why don't you put his name in that and maybe he'll see it.
I'll do that. That'll be perfect. Tanner is here. Tanner, I'd like to be the first one. That's all I'm saying. I think I told you that on the phone, that I want to be the first one, and I still would like to be, even though we moved 4 hours farther away from you. And it's going to be wintertime, and I don't want to be in Pittsburgh in the winter, but I want to get up there and see what you got going on up there. So
I want to see
let me know.
Plants.
And I know somebody's coming soon. And
wait, did Petey go with you guys, Tanner? Just curious if Petey went.
There would be a platform-wide revolt if he got rid of Petey. I mean, don't even say it if you didn't bring that fish with you, Tanner. Just let it go. We'll just act like you didn't hear. I got to get a few of these. Listen, folks, you're probably wondering, like, why isn't John shutting up because Fish Room Fever is getting ready to start? Well, they're not streaming tonight. I heard, well, James told me, actually. Petey's inside now. Nice. There we go.
Yay. And apparently Nate moved all of the tanks by himself. He must be related to Bob Steenfot. Yeah.
That's a strong kid. Anybody that can stand in place and just do a backflip is pretty strong. But I was told by James that Ed is not feeling good tonight, and he's dealing with a family thing, and I don't know what James is up to, but I know he's in the middle of moving, and it's like a whole big thing. So,
too? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, everybody's moving. We were the first. Tanner copied us, and then now James is copying him.
Yeah, and it all happened this year, right?
Yeah, the copying thing is funny. When I was in Aquashella and I saw Corey for the first time, he was growing his stubble. Let's face it, the guy can't grow a beard, but he was growing his stubble a little bit. And I've wanted to do this for 5 years now. Not to him, but to anybody. I went up to him and I said, I see you've copied my beard. Anybody that can tell me what that's from, you will... you'll get a yay from me.
You want to know what's funny? Oh my gosh. So David, my son, he's in Seattle right now, and he for his job, and he's probably 10 minutes from Aquarium Co-op and the actual store. And I was like, you should go in there. And you should wear your KG Tropical shirt and you should like go up to someone working there and be like, I want to meet John Hudson. And when they say, something like, oh, he's not here or whatever, I drove all the way from Virginia to meet John Hudson. I just thought that would be the most funniest thing, just to like do a practical joke.
Of course, it would be Whip's World that got it first. And Stephen P got it too, but Whip's World got it first. So Whip, you get the yay. It was Thor to Cap in Infinity War. Not your Whip's World, but Thor. I see you've copied my beard. We were in the movie theater. We saw that, and I was like, like I screamed so loud when I heard that. It was so.
You just scared Roxy to
everybody,
death.
all the dogs jumped, but that's what it was like in the theater when he did that. I don't know why. That's just one of those things that made me laugh really loud in the theater. And I've only had a beard for like 2 months. So ever since I started growing one, I said, I really want to be able to do that. I want to walk up to somebody and say, I see you've copied my beard. And it just happened to be Corey that I was able to do that too. It was a lot of fun.
Hilarious.
We missed Danikin Aquatics. Is your son at his first Marine Corps ball this evening?
Actually,
No,
that would have been 8 years ago.
Yeah. He did his 4 years and got out.
Yeah, and CJ's in the Navy, so.
And he is he's the one that's in Seattle right now. David, the one that was the Marine, is in Seattle right now, giving Aquarium Co-op a hard time with his KG Tropical shirt. OZ Fat Glock, that's a cool name, became a member. Welcome. LL Lefty 4. What is it with the people in the lefties? They got to have all of these extras in there. He became a member too. Welcome to the team. Or it could be a she. We have no way of knowing with a name like Lefty. Dwayne Moretta again came in and said, John, I'm going to mail you pictures of my dog so you can be as delighted as I am to see yours.
Aw, that's so sweet.
I love puppies. Found out that somebody in our neighborhood, if you even want to call it a neighborhood, is going to start breeding labs. And I told Lisa,
I don't know.
there might be 4 dogs in our future.
There's been some really bad stuff happening out around here, though, because somebody across the street, their dog passed away from parvo, and then 2 other dogs that have wandered around, they just have been let to just wander, I guess. They were found dead, and they're assuming
both
parvo.
at the same time.
Yeah, just not hit or anything, but like in the fields and stuff. And it's like, I don't want any other dogs right now, even ours. Like, I don't want them out in our regular part of our yard where those dogs had been because of the parvo situation. I know that our fenced in area is safe because nothing has been in there but the dogs. So that's the
Our
only
dog's
place.
poop is the only thing that's ever been in there.
That's the only place they're running around, unfortunately.
Lefty3213A, again, see, with all the lefty and the numbers. Oh, dang, it's been that long. I feel like only yesterday I started watching y'all. 30 months he's been a member. This guy is a true king of memberships.
Heck yeah.
Speaking of kings, King Doc, can you make your own frozen fish food by just putting shrimp and peas in a blender and freezing it? Yes, you certainly can.
I've made fish food. I've made Mbuna fish food before with fresh vegetables and blended it all up and froze it.
The only thing is if you just do that, it's going to make a huge mess when you put it in the tank. So
bind it.
Yeah, what a lot of people do is they use some type of a binder, whether that's gelatin or something like that, to keep it kind of in pieces instead of just a big plume of dust that goes into the tank. I don't think Hans uses any kind of binders, does he?
I don't know how he makes it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, you certainly can do it. I have never been able to get it to work. Every time I've ever made food, which I haven't tried it in 10 years, it's never really worked out. It's fun to make it.
Yeah, ruined my blender. I couldn't reuse it again.
It's fun to make it,
Nasty.
but it's never really worked out. But that doesn't mean it can't be done. That just means I suck at it. There's a lot of things that I suck at. Kyle Darcy, Apistos with dwarf gouramis, neons, zebra danios, ottos, rummy nose, shrimp, and harlequins. Did you leave any fish at the fish store? In a 75-gallon, very planted tank. Thoughts?
Oh, that sounds nice.
I think that sounds really cool.
Yeah,
I think it sounds like a lot of
nice.
fish, but yeah, what the heck is wrong with that? I like it. I don't see anything wrong with it. Everybody asks me about Apistos, though. Those are the only ones that I would be a little bit on the fence with because I don't know much about them. And the shrimp kind of like, they're probably not going to be doing much breeding in there because, they'll get eaten, but you might think that's okay and not trying to have 83 million shrimp in there. So, but I think that sounds like a really cool tank.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
OZ Fat Glock again. Thank you both. Great videos. My fish are very happy. I didn't say very. I added the very in there and I didn't mean to. My fish are happy. That's great. That's awesome.
Very
That's what we do. So thank you. Glad to hear that. Regina Phalanges is up to it again with a $50 super chat. till we see you next. See, what she's doing is like, if we throw a bunch of money at them, maybe they'll stream more. It's not a money thing, I promise you.
She's just very giving.
And Regina does this all the time, and we don't deserve it.
I would love to know.
She does.
How are your discus doing?
Yes, of course we'd like to know that. Melissa Jeswald, again, and again, as if she hasn't done enough, congratulations on the baby betas, Lisa. I hope to get one when my life settles down.
Aww.
Yeah, I have a feeling those Serpa aliens someday will breed Serpa aliens. They have to be the green ones because Tanner's thing is green.
I know. It'll be the copper ones. But you know what? Yeah, you're right. It would have to be the green aliens. That would make more sense because, that would make more sense.
There will be no royalties, Tanner. None. You're not getting a dime. You have to come here to get it. We'll give you 0.001% of all sales of Serpa aliens.
I'll put the breeders in a room alone with Tanner's videos on. Yeah.
That'll be perfect.
And then they will officially be Serpa aliens.
Oh boy. Whips World. Outside my window, there's a whole lot of trouble coming. The cartoon killers and the rag cover clones stack heels kicking. What rhythm of social circumcision can't close the closet on a shoebox full of bones?
That doesn't even sound like something I want to hear.
That sounds like a Maynard James Keenan lyric, is what it sounds like. Just something that is just like, huh? But then like the Matrix, when somebody explains it to you, you're like, oh, that makes total sense. I get it. I don't even understand what language that is, Whip. I don't even, I've never heard that before. At least I've never seen, I don't know. I don't know what that is. You got me again. And you should be ashamed of yourself. We need plants. What are you talking about, Tanner? Why are you doing this? You know I'm on YouTube in front of 44,000 people. And you're texting me silly things like we need plants. What are you talking about? There's a plant.
I need to send him
right there.
one.
How about that? Tell me. Oh, now I see what he had a picture attached to that. Wow, look at that.
Oh, that's so pretty. That wood reminds me of my haul. That's so similar to ours.
See, what happened, Tanner, is the text came through before the picture did. That's why I was like, what? Yeah. Wow, that's really nice. Good for you.
Super nice.
And yeah, you need more. God, I know a place that you can take a lot of them from and clear out some room in my house.
I got a couple.
Sarah Hallowell, welcome back. And I can't believe I've been a member for 31 months. Plus you have 584,000 people watching right now. See, daggone it. I thought it was only 44,000. Jeez.
Yeah, it's because the chat thing is so behind.
Yeah, I tell you what. I mean, it's hard, performing in front of this many people. But, when I see videos of like Metallica playing in Russia in front of 1 million people live, I'm like, that's nothing. I mean, we've been there,
Yeah.
We do that every Thursday night. We talk to people and we get big time celebrities like Tanner Serpa and Nate. Don't know his last name, Nate, the guy that does the flips.
I mean, it could be maybe what his username is on.
Well, maybe it is. I haven't studied his. What?
Did I say it right? Dumbbell?
Oh, it can't be that. It can't be that, Nate. Come on now. You're not giving me that fuel, are you? You have to be saying it wrong.
No. Dumbaugh.
Oh, see,
Did you think I said dumb ball?
Yeah, and I was like, I need that in my life. That would be funny because, yeah.
Wow, rude.
So I'm going to tell a story before we sign off of here.
Uh-oh.
And it's going to be a story about Nate. Nate Dumball. This is a story I've told many times. If you've already heard it, you can sign off now and I won't be offended. The numbers will probably drop down to 62,000 people. But we are driving through the inner city of Chicago. It's not the inner city, but it makes it a more dramatic story to tell this.
Was it Chicago or Dallas?
It was Chicago because we came from the Adams' house.
Oh, yes, it was.
Tanner gave us a ride back to the hotel, which was very nice of him. It would have probably been easier if he turned his lights on. Just saying. But we are the number. What about the number? Stop, Tanner. So Tanner was driving a rental car. Lisa and I were sitting in the back seat, scared for our lives. He's driving through, and there is a car behind us on our ass, like all up in us. Like we could smell the exhaust, even though we were in front of them. That didn't really make sense, but you know what I'm saying.
They came up next to
They
us.
were, I know, but they were very, very close. We're in the middle of Chicago and terrified. It's like 11:30 at night. And we stop at a red light. You know that scene in Meet the Parents when they're racing the cars and they have to keep stopping at red lights? It's really funny. It was a scenario like that. Like the streets were empty except for all the gangs and stuff running around shooting. And it was crazy.
It wasn't like
that. We're driving along and this car that's been riding our ass forever comes up beside us. And there's a woman in the car. And she signals Tanner to put his window down and he's horrified of this. He puts his window down and he looks over at us and she says, "Hey, you ain't got your lights on." At least this is how I remember the story. I think it went down this way. So he was like, okay. And now Tanner's panicking even more because he doesn't know how to turn the lights on in this rental car. And so
poor
he,
Tanner.
that was in okay. So he gets the lights turned on and he's like, "Hey, thanks, whatever." And so we start driving again. And like I said, just like Meet the Parents, we stop at the next light. And Nate, what's Nate, like 9 years old? I don't remember.
I think he's like 19 or 20.
Nate looks over at this gang member in the car next to us. Not a gang member. Again, I'm telling a story and this is all true, except she wasn't a gang member. And puts the window down again. And Nate looks over at her and says, "Hey, do you want to play rock, paper, scissors?" And I'm sitting in the back seat and I said,
we're laughing a lot.
"What have you done?" Because this is what the lady's face looked like. She looked over. She's driving. She looked over. And then when he said, "Do you want to play rock, paper, scissors?" she went like this. What? And thankfully, the light turned green and we escaped with our lives. I was convinced we were not going to make it to the hotel that night. I was convinced that was our last night on Earth. And I thought that Nate got us killed. But fortunately, we made it through alive. Now, listen.
I thought he asked, am I imagining it? No, it was rock, paper, scissors. I was going to say, I thought he had asked if she had a boyfriend, but he didn't.
Oh, then we probably would have been killed if he said that. The point of the whole thing is he's making this gesture at a stranger in the streets of Chicago at 11:30 at night with his lights off. Anybody would have been scared. Whether they were, but we survived, and I have since I've forgiven Nate for such a tragic and horrifying evening.
I think it was hilarious.
He is a good kid. It was funny, and that never forget that night. It was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
I just wish we had taken the ride from the Adams, but anyway, no, no. But hey, listen, we are 20 minutes past our time here.
Oh, wow.
And it's only because, again,
I still have to go feed the fish. Yeah,
the stream that usually follows us is not streaming tonight. We are going to see you again in 2 weeks. I do not want to forget AEGYPTIACUS98. You don't expect me to say that, do you? Epiticopus? With the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend.
Gyptiakis?
That sounds perfectly fine to me. And then Mr. Tarkovish.
Welcome to Fry.
Became a member. Welcome to the team. Lots of members tonight. Lots of new members. 18 new members tonight. Be on the lookout for the notification that we will be doing the members only stream. We're going to mix it up. Yeah. Be doing it at different times so that people that are, maybe not in the East Coast time zone can participate too.
Maybe since Thanksgiving falls on the week we're not streaming, maybe we could do our members only on Thanksgiving.
Maybe so, because we'll be here alone. But everybody's coming that weekend, so don't feel sorry for us. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Monkey Business by Skid Row. Oh, that's a Sebastian Bach lyric? Whip's World? What?
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
That outside my... Okay, that's crazy. I'm going to have to listen to that. I've heard that song before. I just did not recognize that was a Skid Row lyric. Yeah, we're way over our time. And this has been a lot of fun. I thank you all so much. Tanner says you're welcome for the 20 minutes of additional content. Yeah, it should be Nate that's saying we're welcome because he's the one that provided that story. But yeah, this has been fun. I don't know what else to say. But turn it over to you and
say goodnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, mods. We appreciate you guys. And also everybody in chat. Thank you, lurkers. And everybody who super chatted. It was awesome hanging out with you guys. We've really missed it. And we will see you in 2 weeks. So have a great, I would normally say have a great weekend, but have a great next 2 weeks. And
but wait a minute. 2 weeks is Thanksgiving.
No.
Yeah. This is the day.
Oh. Oops.
Well, we're not going to be doing anything. So maybe we'll do it Thursday or Thanksgiving. We'll see.
No, we are going to be streaming on Thanksgiving. So,
yeah. We are going to be streaming.
Yeah, we'll see you on Thanksgiving. That'll be awesome. So, yeah. All right. Bye.
There we go.